Hey guys, and welcome to New Game Plus, episode number 24. If you're just joining for the first time, you're not going to have any idea what's going on. Razor, you're not going to have any idea what's going on. That's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. Just hang out, try to enjoy yourselves, and maybe you'll have a little bit of fun. Last week, did we play last week? It feels like a long time ago.
We played the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, with the Rubik's Cube. Last week, the team finished their little journey to Cathos, where they saw that the entire village had been overrun by what we're now
That was
calling.
the week before.
That was the week before. What did we do?
Mostly
Okay.
fought slimes.
I was gonna recap the whole situation, but okay, I'll just recap this. They fought slimes. They opened a door. There was a Rubik's Cube. He stuck a key in it and skipped like 6 hours of work, and then as the Rubik's Cube collapsed and disintegrated into nothing, they see sitting, kneeling with a sword in his hands, grasped and planted into the ground, is an armored knight with burning blue eyes. And that's where we left off. His sword, you see, is a large, thick, crude-looking metal greatsword planted deep into the ground. His armor seems to be more ornate than the weapon that he carries, but still has a very rough, barbaric-looking design to it. And his eyes basically look like they're on fire. And there we go.
Rua instantly pops into the shadows. Just vanishes.
She sees it and she goes, "Wow!" and just.
She's gone.
In the seconds that you spend staring at the blue-eyed knight, he doesn't seem to do anything or react in any way.
I will cautiously approach it and say, "Hello there, good Sir Knight." Or I hope you are good, at least.
There's a second when you say this, and you see this statuesque creature just continue to kneel without moving, doesn't seem to notice you, and then suddenly its head sort of shifts just an inch to the left in your direction. And you can feel as the eyes shift and look at you. There's no response.
In the shadows of the room, I kind of like creep around and try to slip into this dude's shadow.
You try to slip into a shadow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Roa dies a second time.
So Roa slips into the shadows, and the second you do, you feel hands close around your throat.
Oh, God damn it.
Make a strength check to try to break out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, you guys see the little cat slink in and just into the shadow, and then you see the shadow itself just sort of become solid as she starts. Oh wait, I'm not in the right spot there.
I got a 14.
14? It's not bad.
No.
Because it's passive, I'll let you break out of it with that. So you see Roa just pops out of the shadow, gasping, in cat form, just like she's got a hairball.
And she's gonna like skitter back and try to get away from.
The knight turns his head slowly, and the eyes lock onto you as you walk across. They trail you. It just looks like these embers burning in behind the completely plated face mask.
Rua hisses.
You hiss at it. It just keeps staring, just straight at you.
I'm gonna make a perception
growling.
check just to look closer at him.
21. On closer observation of this knight, you notice that you don't actually see any physical features beneath the armor. there are sections where there are gaps, and you don't actually see the appearance of normal human flesh. Looking past the burning eyes, you don't see any skin.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Locke will look at me and be like, so, what the hell are you?
He doesn't respond to that. He just continues to sit there staring.
I'm not sure whether I should tell him he's like, you're welcome for being freed, or if he's just gonna sit there all day.
I have an idea. Locke will turn into mist. And then I will float towards the armor in between the different sections and try to go inside the armor.
You're gonna try to go inside the armor?
I'm gonna go inside it, yeah.
Okay.
Locke
Probably
wants to
not
be
gonna
inside
go
him.
well.
You turn into blood mist and try to climb inside the armor where you see these gaps where it doesn't look like there's flesh. And the second you try that, you do hit solid. Where the gaps that you cannot see are.
Well, and I'll take my turn to turn back into solid map.
It doesn't really. There's no combat happening. He just sits there, and you see as this happens, like the eyes sort of trail the blood.
I'm
trying
just gonna
to
go
go into
stand
the
like,
cracks.
I'm gonna go walk up in front of him, like where he's kneeled, like what would be in front of him. You know, like 5-6 feet away, and just be like, "Hi."
Make a willpower check.
Where's my willpower? Well, 41.
41. Yeah, nice. Yeah, you're looking into his eyes, and like you get this weird, eerie feeling for a second, like you're just gonna get sucked in, but you resist it. Just looking into his eyes and speaking to him is very unnerving to you.
Okay, maybe not. Just take like another step back.
I'm gonna try and diplomatize.
Diplomatize him. Say things, and then I'll...
Look, Mr. Knight. We have come a long way and fought a many nasty thing to free you from your cubic home. So you could at least tell us your name. And I'll make a charisma check. 20. The lowest I could possibly without automatically failing.
Cagnor?
Damn mute button. No, I was
He
saying
doesn't say
his
anything.
eyes burn into you as he stares at you, and then you hear echoing from somewhere inside the armor. Cathos. At that, you see he presses his fist against the hilt and forces himself very slowly and shuddering from his kneeled position. Takes him like a good 10 seconds to just move at all. You can see he's sort of shaking. Forces himself up.
So you were in that box a long time, huh?
You just hear like the first breath since you had him come out, escape his mouth, just a... And you can just see the heat of it coming from inside with little blue sparks flying from where his mouth would be.
If I had to wager a guess, this place might not have been ruins before you were, locked in there.
Another puff of ash and blue sparks.
Or maybe he's the one who made it ruins.
He looks from each of you, one to the next, And then he turns, his eyes burning, and he takes a single step forward, plucking the blade out of the ground. It was a good foot into the ground still as he... And he takes a step forward, staring at Roa.
She keeps, there's like this low growl on the back of her throat. She's still a cat. Just, her hair's standing on end. Tail's all fluffy. Actually, she doesn't have a tail. We've been over this.
He walks closer, and then he gets back into a kneel position and replants his blade in the ground. And then he bows his head at you.
She kind of, the growl stops. She kind of relaxes a little bit, just kind of waiting.
Everyone else just like,
And he sits there staring, and he says, with, again, sparks just flying, "Where is Keelan?"
I'll pop back into a person. We don't know.
He gets back, stands back up, plucks his blade out of the ground, and starts walking towards the door.
But are you going to fight him?
He turns, and he looks right back at you. "Keelan, master."
Oh. That's not good.
I think I know why he might have been locked up now.
They're gonna be like, well, I don't know if you know this, but we happen to be seeds of chaos. So, in a way, if you were to tag along with us, it would sort of be like working for Kalen. And I'll make another diplomacy check.
Yeah.
Mm.
He turns, and he looks at you. And then you see, as he is at the threshold of the door, you see, like, skin forming underneath the blank parts that are still on the right side. You can see his right arm's just sort of poking through the archway, and you can see flesh starting to form.
Yeah.
And he looks back at you, and he says, "You do not bear this title proudly, like this one does."
So you gesturing towards Roa?
Yes. You are not of Keelan if you do not bear his name.
But what does it mean to bear his name? What? I mean, we've only met him once, and I was kind of unconscious for most of that, I think.
He sort of breathes again, blue sparks just fill the space in front of him. And then he just, as a sort of huff. And then he turns and steps out the door.
Guys, we did something bad.
Not technically bad. It's just not necessarily good.
Do we need to try to kill him now?
I don't think that'd be well advised. He looks like he can kick all of our asses.
I agree, but we came here to learn things, and we learned something bad again. We keep.
As he's standing in the hallway,
I'm talking really quick.
Oh no, we lost Locke. This is happening again.
And
Oh.
Locke gets absorbed into the armor, never to be seen ever
You guys see
again.
the flesh continue to form underneath it, and you see black skin beneath, the gaps in his armor and his arms forming. And first technical difficulties in a while. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Stuff.
Stuff happens.
Did we ever get the chat screen working with Skype?
He had a full crash, I think.
Yeah, he did. So I'm wondering if you could just switch over to the chat screen.
I can switch over to the chat screen. But he's back anyway, so
Just if it happens again.
yeah, we'll just switch over if it happens again. But good stuff, guys. There we go. So, you see the
Or I don't know what happened.
black skin start to form as the meat and sinew form underneath it. You don't see red flesh like a normal creature. It seems like inky and blue instead of red blood and sinew.
Which means I can't eat him.
As it forms completely, he stands there in the hallway with his arms outstretched, the long sword trailing the ground next to him. And he just... And he looks left and he looks right and he heads down the right tunnel. Slowly. Very deliberate steps.
Roa's gonna it just kind of start after him and like dog his heels, sort of, not like super close, but just we woke up here a little while ago and a whole bunch of bad stuff happened, and we found this thing and the amulet, and we came back. We came all this way. We were hoping to find some answers here, and it seems you are the only thing with answers, sir.
And as he continues walking slowly, and he's like, "Then ask your questions." And he continues down the tunnel, and you see slimes appear in front of them, and as he walks, they turn to ash.
Oh, well, that's a cool trick.
Even the fireflies just boil and just turn to nothing.
Well, so what does he want with us? What? Yeah.
Make a diplomacy check. Like,
I mean, that's just charisma, right?
yeah.
Wow.
He as you ask these questions, he's like, "It is baffling to me that Keelan would choose such a timid creature to be an envoy."
I have taken a lot of heads in my time, sir. I'm just
Lol.
Who locked you up?
He turns to this as you're chasing after him, and you see just like slimes just in the background. As he turns and looks at you, and he says, "The betrayers locked me up."
The who?
Right.
So, by betrayers, do you mean the Mira and Stellana and Valen and Thanos and what are the other ones?
These are their names. Pretenders. False gods. Betrayers. And now that I'm awake, I shall fell them once I'm reunited with my master.
How did you get involved in all of this?
I am Keelan's first true disciple. Cathos, sworn sword to Keelan, the one true god. And he continues walking.
And why is he the one true God exactly?
Do you know nothing, timid one?
Some of us aren't from around here.
I'm not religious.
Just blue sparks as he just sort of sighs. I do not know how long I've been imprisoned. All I know is that it is time to move once more.
I'll just be like, so, seeing as we let you out and all, and how you'd still be stuck there if we hadn't, anything you might be able to do to help some fellow seeds of chaos out?
34? Let me go look at something real quick.
Whenever there's a super powerful entity, always good to be like, hey, help a brother out.
Okay. At that, C turns and he says, if you are truly followers of Keelan and wish to do his will, then of course, I am duty sworn, as you are his seed, to serve you.
All right, let's go kill things.
I'm gonna look at it and be like, so, the way I understand it, it seems like whether we want to or not, Kalen's gonna use us as he sees fit. At least that's what I've gathered so far.
Keelan does not use. Keelan simply knows. If you are doing Keelan's will, then that is simply because you were always meant to.
Well, there you go.
What? Roa's sulking, arms crossed, surly look on her face.
Palms sweaty.
Hey, get down. God damn it.
Owen's just kind of like pondering this as he walks along, like, what?
Yeah, man.
So, what you gonna kill first?
I will find my master first.
Well, maybe this isn't all terrible. Maybe this isn't the complete end of the world. Maybe we also need to go see him and should tag along.
Owen like stops at that. Looks around. You remember what happened last time, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but remember how we didn't die.
I mean, look, I don't want to be involved in any of this at all, and I don't want anybody to die, and I don't want more horrible things to happen to all big towns full of people that we visit. But
So you want to follow the scary man in armor to the scarier god that kills all the people?
I don't know what else to do.
I
'Cause
mean,
it's all-
better.
You see, hearing you guys say all this shit behind him, and he just stops and turns around, and he says, if Lord Keelan has failed any mortals, then it is because they are in the wrong, and they deserve to perish.
But who's to decide? Who? I mean, it's whole towns of people that are just people.
Their souls belong to him long before.
Why?
If he wishes to take them back, then he is only claiming what is rightfully his.
But why is it his? And what is he doing with it?
Turns and starts walking again.
You know, all that solitude probably wasn't good for his conversational skills.
was just gonna keep walking after him.
I got an idea. I know what'll help loosen him up. I run up to him and I pull out a bottle of my fire whiskey while walking alongside. Care for a drink?
He looks at you, and you see, like, again, the fire just blazing beneath his helmet as he looks at you. And just sparks. And just keeps walking.
Oh, come on. It's good stuff. I crack it open and take a swig.
I thought you were gonna say, "Look, I can do that too."
So yeah, Ro's just gonna tag after him and just kind of keep badgering him about like, well, you know, you served this guy, and you know you've been in prison for a long time because of him and stuff, and like you should. I know you have answers. You must know these things. Why would you serve somebody and devote that much to him if you don't know anything about them? So we just want to know what's going on and what we've gotten into. And he obviously he doesn't talk to us, and he was kind of, you know, scary, evil last time, and I just don't understand what is happening or why you seem to think it's a good thing.
It has
Sorry, I
been
talk a lot
long
when I'm nervous.
time, and I do not know what Keelan is up to. When he was usurped, betrayed, when he was trapped in this place, I was the last one trying to fight for him, and they trapped me there.
You know, I feel like if they didn't want y'all to ever get out, they should have made it known that you were here, and people would have stayed away.
And not let us use keys to open everything.
Yeah, I'm putting this one on them.
I mean, in their defense, the place is named after him.
But nobody knows who Cathos is or what the story is here. I mean, we talked to people in town, and nobody knows. It's just goblins.
Nobody
Yeah, they're like
knows.
it's.
Nobody knows of me, knows my name at this time.
No.
Good. Anonymity might be nice.
I mean, important people will probably know and figure it out. Just
How
not
long has it been
people that
since the
lived
fall
here.
of Keelan? You must know this at least.
Make an intelligence check to try and remember.
Again, not from around
You
here.
have no idea. Like you don't know when this was, but from
Yeah, I
conversations with
couldn't
other
remember if
people, they didn't even know that Keelan was a god or ever existed.
Yeah.
Meaning that generations have passed so much that he's been erased from history.
I
Right.
think Roa just kind of gives him a sort of dumbfounded, nonplussed kind of.
So
It's been a while.
I don't know
Balin's-
about the others guys, but I've only been in this world for like less than a month.
I've been here a little bit long.
So your other world is.
Yeah, that's one of those turns. Yes.
I see. Interesting. I imagine that you find this world very amusing.
No,
Kinda.
says the only person that's from it.
It's got some good alcohol.
When I first came here from my world, I found it very easy to defeat enemies. I too was another worlder. But
Did you die
I
before
was
you
no
came here?
adult when I arrived, like it seems that you are.
In your other world? Did you die there?
I did. And this was the place for my second birth. And if I had not found Keelan, I probably would have succumbed to darkness.
How did he help you exactly?
He
And
taught me
how
the
is-
ways, he showed me the path.
And it's not darkness?
History seems to be a fickle thing.
I don't know
But
about
I was
history.
once
We-
revered as one of the 7 great heroes of the land.
Okay. But nobody remembers, and the guy that you serve has been doing some horrible things.
At least have the appearance of being horrible things. You don't know they're actually horrible.
They looked pretty horrible.
Well, okay, appearances aside, what if all the people were actually evil?
But they were nice.
You don't know that.
And the one guy that was not nice didn't die.
I mean,
So
they're all
maybe-
gonna die eventually.
I'm becoming irritated with your constant questioning of Keelan.
Well, you're not giving us any answers. And nobody else has any.
So before he was known as Chaos, how did you know him before then?
He was everything. The creator of this world. Its protector, its keeper. Keelan is the one true God. And he allowed others to join his pantheon. For he was lonely, they betrayed him.
And he created them too, then?
I do not know their source. I only know that it was one of his greatest mistakes. He was
And
never
did all of
known
them
as
betray
the
him?
Lord of Chaos until we reached the point where we had to do war. And that is when he raised the demons.
So what if Kaylin was the good guy and the other one's the bad guys?
He's not
I'm
the good guy now. It doesn't matter. People change. Things happen.
But
It's
do
possible
gods
that none of
change?
them are the good guy.
They're all the bad guys?
I don't think anybody's the good guy or the bad guy. It's you. They are just people, and sometimes they do bad things, and sometimes they do good things, and it doesn't matter what he did in the past because he just killed a whole lot of people.
You find a sword dangling below your chin. The tip of the blade pointed at you.
I wouldn't do that for your
No
own safety.
more words against Keelan in my presence.
So, did all of the gods betray Keelan? Or were there any that didn't?
From my knowledge, it was all of them that betrayed Keelan, though not at once. The last to turn was Balin.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
At this point, you guys have reached the main hallway and are approaching the large stairway going up.
I'm just gonna say, while all this questioning is going on, I'm just sipping my whiskey since I have no questions for him.
Yeah, make me a resistance check to see, the Constitution check. Fortitude, that's the one. See how well you're handling your booze.
Badly falls off stairs.
What's it gonna roll?
23. No, you're doing pretty good. You're not drunk yet or anything, but you're getting a little bit you feel a little bit of a buzz. A little bit happy going on there. Cathos, reaching the base of this giant room, seeing the stairs up above him, sighs, and just starts shifting his shoulders. And you see what looks like black webbing start to poke out from between a few pieces of metal on his back. It creaks and sort of makes wet, squeaky noises as it pries its way out.
Mm.
And then after a moment, they burst forth two very, very large black demonic wings.
One just kind of like pats his back, like,
And he stretches them out, gives them a few. As he does so, you see that, again, blue sparks fly in the gusts from his wings. And he takes off into the sky, rising up to the top.
huh.
I hope you find your god.
Well, he doesn't need a mount.
I hate all of this.
It's fine.
It could be worse.
Could it?
He could have killed all of us but you.
Well, I feel like he might as well have. I don't. I mean, what do we do now?
They could talk to the Tim guy.
On our way to the Highlands? Is that where we're going? Where was the girl?
I don't even know if there's a point anymore.
Well,
We could go take out our frustrations on some black goblins.
I don't know if there's a point to that either.
It's fun.
you have interesting definitions of fun, sir. Kind of like beheading things. I'm not sure that qualifies technically as fun.
Where was all the people from the Mage's Order? Where were they going?
But kind of all over the place to different branches.
Yeah, they were spreading out.
Ugh. Bro is just gonna stalk off back through
So-
the ruins towards the exit.
So if this fella, if Kalen, brought forth the demons and the demons are back, they're headed towards where we're headed towards, probably a safe bet that that's where our friend is headed.
Are you guys progressing or just standing there at the bottom of the
Row it.
thing?
No,
Rose
like, yeah,
leaving.
walking our way up.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't be too loud. He probably didn't kill all the things on the way out. Or
I
he might have.
I just look at Owen and I'm like, don't worry, it's take another swing.
as
Yeah,
Roa is
worry.
stalking down the hallway, I'm just gonna conceal my presence and
Okay. You guys make your way up the winding steps back to the platform up above, which was swarming with nightmare goblins.
Is
Is
it
there anything
still?
you would like to do before entering the area with all the nightmare goblins?
Perception check.
You can't really see very well without traversing to the top of the steps and being in their midst.
Roa's just gonna try to do the same thing we did on the way in. And just sneak past.
Okay, so you get to the top of the stairs and start sneaking, and when you get there, you see that all of the goblins are kneeling.
Ugh. Roa will kind of gingerly sort of pick her way among them.
Yeah, they don't even seem to bother with you. If you get close to one, they sort of make a little sort of thing for a second, like they're going to reach out at you, and then they don't stop themselves. And you see Cathos continuing to walk slowly, traversing up the stairs. Out. You taste fresh air. It is currently dipping into the afternoon. Not quite evening. Sun is getting slightly low in the sky, but it is still blue sky.
So I have one last question for you, if you don't mind, before you fly away again. What if he doesn't control the demons? Would you fight them too?
If the demons are left to their own devices, then I will fell them like I once did.
Because it just so happens that the demons are kind of running amok.
Where?
The Elven city. I'm gonna point in the direction that way. I don't remember what it was called though.
I will meet with Keelan, and then he will tell me what I should do.
By then, the entire city's gonna be gone. He might be unhappy if he doesn't want to
Make a charisma check.
Plus, what do I get for this? My charisma is that, and 29.
Troublesome.
Isn't it?
Very well. He looks over in that direction, and then he looks back at you. And the rest of you, as you all reach the top of the steps. Who shall form the pact?
Just look at the other three.
Oh, it's just she's still walking.
Does this pact involve alcohol?
What is this pact?
I am a denizen of Keelan. I am beyond. I should not act as once I did. If you are seeds, then you shall follow my footsteps. A pact with me, meaning you take my place.
Will we eventually get cool, fiery, glowing eyes?
He just sort of stares at you blankly, like...
Just kind of look at the other ones again, like... Who wants to be stuck in a box in like 10,000 years?
I wouldn't mind being stuck if I have alcohol with me.
Probably not.
Then it's a no for me.
You're muted, Locke.
I messed it up. It's gonna be like if Keelan wins to Cathos, does that mean everybody is gonna be made of black goop?
If Keelan is restored as god of this realm, then it will return to how it once was. A place of peace and prosperity.
Right. Well, that's good to know because I was more concerned for my own longevity and my stomach because I don't think that the black goop is quite tasty.
Well, she's not gonna do it. I don't think you're gonna do it. He's too drunk to. I'll do it.
Very well.
After Owen says that, though, I look at him. I'm like, I'm not too drunk. And
He
take another
says-
swig.
He says, then bear his name. Which means you need to switch your
Yeah, I was
title
gonna
to Seed of
pull the
Chaos.
card out. Yeah, and switch it to Seed of Chaos.
Is this something you want all of us to do?
I am but one denizen of Q. If you are usurpers, then you will find the others. And so he holds his sword out to you.
I'll reach out like,
Yeah, make a strength check.
Not a burst of strength, just strength.
No, there's just a d20 with strength. This is not this
Oh,
perfect guy.
that's actually not terrible.
17? It's heavy as hell. The second the blade hits your one outstretched hand, it like falls blank to the ground. It must weigh over like 80 pounds.
Just kind of look at him. It's a heavy sword, sir.
And then he hands you the sword. You take it. Kind of. And then he walks over to you. Rights the sword for you so that it's in a standing position because it seems like you're not doing it properly. And then
Like leaning on it now.
he looks you in the eyes and he says, "And now we shall begin." And you see a glyph appear on his chest. And his wings outstretch and they envelop you.
This is cozy and terrifying.
And we're going to take our break early. Because this is a thing that I have to tell you guys about, because we're going to sort of cutscene. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So we're going to take a break real quick, guys. And I'll be back in just a minute. When you open your eyes, Owen, you blink for a moment. And you see before you a large iron door. And you can feel the cold around you. You look down at your hands and you see that you're wearing heavy metal gauntlets and your skin is black. The rest of you open your eyes as well, as you just moments before felt yourself pulled into whatever was happening as Owen was enveloped by Cathos. And you see Cathos standing next to you, but not as he was. You can tell it's Cathos simply by the sword slung across his back. But there's no helmet or burning blue eyes. Simply a humanoid man with black skin, slicked back hair, and large horns curling on the sides of his head. Under his arm, you see that he has a helmet. The one that you recognize from before. As he stands there, staring ahead at a large metal door in the side of a mountain. And you find yourself surrounded by snow. Locke, you realize that everybody's a little bit taller than you remember them being. And then you look down at your own hands and see how small they are. But you feel inside of you a very familiar feeling from when you met the first vampire Lilith.
I'm gonna do a little twirl.
Roa, you're aware for the first time in a long time that you don't have a sense of darkness, that you don't feel like that's where you dwell. It's like being born again and you're just surrounded by light. You feel air inside you, and you feel wisdom beyond anything except for when you have used a Bleer's wisdom skill.
How do I look?
You have, from what you can tell, long white hair. And your skin sort of gives off a glisten.
Is it wet?
No, not that kind of glisten. Just like a sheen of light.
Was I working out before this?
Aramil, you're a giant metal person.
I thought I was half expecting you to be like, Aramil, you have a very sobering feeling.
Yeah, you are very sobered. You, again, as I was telling you off the thing, act as these characters. Just let them feel as they are, but they're not your characters acting so much as you are seeing through the eyes of these people.
So kind of like in World of War, when you have one of those flashback moments
Sure.
of playing as a character.
I don't know. Sure. So, Owen, you know, because it's coming into your head as Cathos' voice rings out. This is the place where everything changed. We were sent here to defeat something. We didn't know what it was.
Just kind of like nod. We made it this far. Just have to go in here and find the thing now.
They don't have it. They don't have the gumption.
Like, then open the door. I'm bored.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this person doesn't sound like Roa does. Okay, let me dig into my very small list of voices I can do. And you didn't tell us anything about like why we're actually here. Did I miss that when I went to the bathroom?
The king sent us to come kill something.
Oh, okay. So, I, the Celestial, step up to the door and just barge right on in.
All right, it's like this giant metal door, and you see as she walks in, she just pushes it open with ease and steps inside.
What kind of weapon do I have?
What kind of weapon you have?
Yeah.
Large
Sword.
mace.
Fuck yeah. So she's got that out.
Do I have any weapon, or am I just myself?
You what does she have again? It's I mean, she doesn't really need a weapon.
Right. That's
So like she has like really long claws,
there we go.
but she doesn't have like a weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. It's like her actual fingers just become like shink. Just
I already forgot my own name.
Taryn.
Taryn.
Thank you.
And of course you have that massive sword on.
Mm.
Okay.
Look
He's
Look
not
back
talking
over
about
my
the one with the
shoulder.
trousers.
The last one of your party members walks up next to you. It's this small little halfling Tarloon. And he's like, well, if we're going to do this, we might as well just head in. I'm a little bit scared about it, but, you know, you've kept me alive so far. You recognize this little mage that you've all seen before.
Tim.
All right. Well, shall we?
Not gonna let the Celestial lead the way, are you guys? And walk in.
Okay. As you guys head into the massive mines in the Northlands. Which actually, let me find the name for that because I forgot what the name of the mountains are. That's the wrong RPG. It's like, why is this?
That's the wrong world.
Yeah, it's like, none of this is making any sense. There we go. Coldstone Mountains is what they're called. Yuck, that took forever. Yeah, no, the Coldstone Mountains. So as you head into this these mines in the Coldstone Mountains. You open up the door and move inside. You immediately are beset upon by a bunch of angry dwarves. These dwarves are not dwarves as you players have seen them, but immediately you know to jump into action and fight them. So everybody roll initiative.
Are we just doing our stats for this
No,
part?
just roll and I'll tell you who goes first. This is fun. We're literally just rolling d20s, guys.
I rolled a 2.
10.
Holy
Hey.
shit, Airmail rolled an 18.
It's because I'm not Aramil right now.
As you step into the room, the first person that attacks, launching themselves forward, Lilith, strikes out and leaps into the fray. With blinding speed, she immediately latches on and rips the throat out of one of the entities. Instead of rolling a d20, roll a d10 for how many you kill in the opening attack.
Hey, save some for the rest of us.
As she just goes through, she goes to the first one, rips his jugular out, swallows, and then just tweaks her hands for a moment, and blood dripping from the ends of her claws just flies out as blades and just immediately takes out 7 other dwarves.
And then I will lick my fingers.
As an army continues to push forward, Terran, with a massive fist, slams into the ground, sending a shockwave. Roll a d20.
As I do this, I'm just imagining myself yelling, "It's clobbering time." Go to racket.
13. As he slams in the ground, sending a concussive blow, the earth beneath the area completely starts to quake as giant sheets of metal rip through the ground, tearing 13 dwarves to pieces. As you continue to press forward, as if this is all rehearsed for you, the Celestial takes out her mace and just swings. Roll a d20. As she swings across, several of the dwarves are immediately bent to her will as they lay down all arms, sitting before her, waiting for their own death. As Cathos steps in and raises his sword.
Slice.
Roll for it.
20. That did not roll a d20.
Roll a d20.
There you go.
17. And as he comes in with the sword, you see him move as his wings expand, dashing through, cutting down those that had been bent to the will of the Celestial, clearing the room of the remaining dwarves. You continue on, all of you still moving forward. Lilith licking her fingers. Terran just shaking dirt off of his metal fist. And the Celestial walking gracefully as you just continue onward as if nothing had happened. You don't stop to loot. You don't stop to look. You don't think. You continue on as if this is an everyday occurrence. Their lives are nothing to you. They were killed simply and easily.
Just a quick flick of the blade and then back onto the back.
The Tarlude continues shuffling after you guys with a long staff in his hands, just sort of going, whoo! Jumping over corpses that have been left behind and trying to keep up. You guys continue your way down through several legions of these dwarves, tearing them to pieces, bit after bit after bit. After about half an hour of this experience, viewing through the eyes of these strangers, you sort of reach a state where you don't even remember who you were before. Like this is what your life has always been. It just seems so natural. And as you continue onward, down deep into the dungeons. You find yourselves above a massive pit. The Tarloon stops you and says, This is where it is. Down there? Yes?
Are you telling me or asking?
I detected its energy. It's down there.
I'm gonna look into the pit, and is it just a straight drop? Are there any?
It's just a straight drop. Massive pit, probably some 100 yards across. Just looks like a pit to hell, straight through.
Well then.
Can Lilith still? This Lilith here can still like
Just levitate.
airwalk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she just goes straight down.
I'm just gonna be like, doo, 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 doo.
Yeah, she just sort of like tiptoes to the edge and then just sort of gently falls off and sort of dances down,
Do a little twirl.
giggling as she clears blood off of her by licking it up.
Can you tell what it is, or just that it's down there?
I wouldn't say that's sort of the point of the investigation, isn't it?
Fair enough. Step off the edge and just wings and just start like drifting down.
Okay.
Celestials don't have wings, do they?
Celestials do have wings.
They do? Okay, well then I do that too.
She opens up her angelic wings. There are 6 of them
Oh shit.
as she glides gently down. And the and Taryn just goes
I think as I
and just walks off the edge and just plummets straight
I was
down.
gonna say
That's
every
actually
time.
what I was thinking. I was like, very well then, let's go.
I'm a rock. Whoom.
Basically, what I was actually thinking of just saying that's what I do before even getting there.
Yeah.
Activate rocket booster.
You're all dancing through the air, gracefully gliding, and then goes straight
And I
past
think
you.
as he goes sailing by, I cast a look over to Cathos, kind of like, hey, and start diving after him.
As I see that, of course, same thing. Tuck wings and just dive down.
So it's now a race. You see Taryn sitting there with his arms crossed, just
Oh, we forgot that halfling up there, y'all.
yeah. Taryn's just falling straight through.
Lilith will sort
He'll
of
find
just,
his way down. He always
Yeah.
does.
I'll just float along and just sort of like la 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 la, just hum, it's like slowly.
As you guys dive towards the bottom, you see a little bit of blue light up or down below as you're heading towards it. And once
Pull the
you
blade out.
reach
So
the
now it's like
bottom,
drifting.
it's a race. Who can touch the ground first, and then you all land. And it's too hard to tell. There's a moment where it's like, who was here first? It was me. Oh. And of course, Taryn just landed and was like, I don't give a shit. And then after a few moments, you see Lilith finally make her way gracefully down. And you hear calling from up above, I'll catch up to you soon. Echoing from way above.
You could always jump.
No, he's feather falling.
No, I know. Still, he could just.
So I look around. What is this blue light?
Looking around, you find yourself surrounded by what looks like a sea of blue fire. Small islands of rock pressed in all around. Looking all around you, it seems like this was one of the deep places. One of the places that just below is the abyss beyond. The nothingness below the world. This must be one of the deeper demonic realms.
Okay. Well, I've got my mace out and gonna kind of start casting around for Any signs of life or activity?
As you do that, she casts Detect Presence, and there's a small chime. Sounds like a bell chime that rings out, and there's a ripple of energy that sends out all around you. And as it pings back, the celestial turns, points out into the distance. You know there's something large there. Something alive.
Believe that's our quarry?
Spin the sword around, like kind of pointing the ground, just twisting, like, all right, let's go get this over with. I don't like being down in a hole, regardless of how colorful it seems to be.
I'll
That
just
might
sort of
feel right
sharpen
at
my
home here.
nails on each other.
All right. She says they're sharpening her nails, and I assume that Taryn follows at some point.
Just glide around, sharpening my nails.
You continue walking, and after a few minutes, you see the little Tarloon halfling touch down at the back and just start hustling after you guys. You make your way, using your wings, or if you're Terran, just walking through the sea of fire, making your way from small island to small island until you get to this particularly large rise of rock that seems like a lone mountain in the middle. Upon arriving, everyone takes out their weapons, seeking into the darkness in the very center of this mountain. You see that there is an opening that leads in.
Who wants to go first?
Could send the mage first, as he's running to catch up.
Can't hear you, Gagnar.
He's starting to catch up, and then he hears that, and he goes, "Oh, look at the fire."
upon seeing him dilly-dally, I turn to him like,
Don't dilly-dally now.
Perfect. Yes.
I will go in first, then.
Okay.
Just
I'll follow right behind.
The Celestial walks in and immediately brightens up the area. The entire area glows at a much more brilliant light than what Manny could have ever done. The entire area is completely filled with light. Not blinding, just filled. And as you continue to walk forward, you see what looks like steps continuing. You follow them for a while until you make it to the very center, where there seems to be just a large disc with runes covering all of it that seems to be hanging midair in the very middle.
do I recognize the runes?
They're demonic.
Do I recognize
You both do. Yeah, they're demonic runes. You know some of the inscriptions and on them are using it to cause the disc to levitate. The rest you're not 100% sure. But I assume you just approach and
Yeah, step right onto it.
step right
No
onto the disc.
hesitation.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
As you all move onto the disc, it slowly starts turning. And then in the darkness, you hear, "Who has come here?"
Just be like, Cathos, and just have the sword, in front, point into the ground.
And what business do you have here in my realm?
Told to get rid of you.
A half-demon here to kill a demon lord.
Stranger things have happened.
He's not alone.
You overestimate yourself.
As a hand the size of your entire body reaches up and grabs the edge of the disc. And you see another hand pulling out of the pool of blue magma from below. Comes a creature that's skin is crackling with blue fire. Large demonic wings. Massive horns. And his eyes are blue flames.
Seems today got more interesting.
Roll initiative.
Lilith will look at him and she's like, I wonder what you taste like.
Wow, terrible initiative rolls.
Yeah.
And when he rises here, I look at Cathos and I go,
This'll be fun.
I imagine we're all just kind of standing there staring a bit.
Aramil.
Except
when I'm Aramil, I roll shit, but
All
when
right.
I'm somebody else,
So the first person that leaps in action will once again be Lilith. Here's the thing. If you can imagine it, they can probably do it. So just say what you're doing and let's go.
Lilith will kind of skip along the hand that's on the disc and just lengthen her claws, just like.
I mean,
attack.
he's pulled himself up at this point.
Right. I'm just trying to I don't think you need that hand.
Oh yeah, gotcha. So she just like runs across it, roll a d20, add 250.
So the 20 basically just doesn't matter.
I mean,
Critical failure.
Yeah.
As she goes to run the blade across his hand, just with a gentle walk, it starts to slice, and he just grabs her by the waist, and she just goes, ah. He just like grabs her and picks her up and just starts to crush her in his hand passively. The next person that's gonna go is going to be Taryn.
So I want to, upon seeing him grab Lilith, I want to charge at him and try and jump into the air and slam onto his wrist. Do whatever attack I did before against the dwarves.
Okay, cool. So you launch yourself off the ground into the air. Roll 2d20. And then add 300.
It's like the video games where like you hit with a basic weapon, it's like 43,000 damage.
That's the point of this game.
At least
308.
they're not once.
Yeah, no. So as you like leap into the air and crash down on his hand, the impact causes him to drop Lilith, and he just goes. And then he turns, takes both claws, and does a massive cut through the air, attacking all of you. Everybody roll a 2d20. Oof.
Back to my usual rolls.
And then Locke's like, I got this, it's fine.
Both the Celestial and Terran get knocked back by the blast. Just like the blue fire just cutting through. You see one of the wings fall to the ground from the Celestial side.
Oh no.
She winces out in pain, and the Terran just gets knocked back onto the ground. Immediately, his bottom half replaces his top half, and he stands back upright again. And then he runs and he picks up the Celestial, because your role is to protect her.
All right.
It is now your turn.
Me?
Yes.
So I get back to my feet and kind of want to lash out with some light magic, some kind of holy spell or something, and just.
Okay. Holy spell. All right. Roll 3d20. 17. Okay, so 1 crit. As you hold your hand out and the arcane runes appear before you and you press them forward, you shoot out 3 beams of light. which put a massive hole directly through the chest of this thing, and he takes a step back.
Yeah. You like that?
And then Cathos.
You seem to have the big guy in hand, and I'm gonna charge the flaming one, the other demon.
Okay.
And just go for like a two-handed, just cleaving blow, like trying to cut him in half.
Okay, so that's going to be a heavy hit. So do 2d20 plus 150. He rolled a 1. So as you slam down on top of him, he goes to take a step back to move out of the way, but you use your wings to gust forward and cut straight down from the top. Adding your strength again, you add an additional 200, cleaving a huge gash straight through the center of him. As fire spills out, also burns back at you. You also take 200 damage and fly back to the ground, taking the burn and trying to pull it off of you. And then Lilith goes again.
I think I'll do what I did before and just shoot little blood stabby things at him.
Okay. Roll 8 d20s. Is that one crit?
The
I don't know.
19?
There's a 19?
Yeah, there's a
18
19
and
and
Oh,
an
18 and 19, so 2 crits. Sorry, I can't see the 19. All right, yeah, so you launch both of those. You're going to hit him for... Yeah. So you shoot and the blood pierces through, just impacting him as she just shoots like what looks like endless streams of blood bullets from her fingers at him. And you see her eyes are just maniacal as she laughs. He continues to get pelted by these, and you see, blood and magma, just again lit with blue fire, just pouring out of him as the holes appear. He gives out a loud roar. And then, did I get my initiative thrown? No, yeah. So then, Taryn, still holding her in your arms.
I say to the Celestial, like, I'm gonna have to put you down for a second. I set her down quick and do like a running leap and try and punch this guy in his face.
Okay. And you just punch him, clobber him in the face.
Yep.
Just roll a d20, man. Yeah. 9. Yeah, so you just like clock him. Yeah, clock him across the jaw. And his head twists to the side, then he just comes back. And you see he just goes, enough of this. And he whispers under his breath, and the entire area just gets set ablaze. Everybody roll a d20. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Everybody just takes to the skies as this happens and just jets out of the way. The entire pillar of fire. You see that one person didn't make it out. A poor little Tarlode sitting there holding up a magical barrier protecting himself from the flames as as this continues to go forward. So the next attack would be the Celestials. And I will say this again. These guys can do pretty much anything, so be descriptive. This is important.
I'm going to charge at it, combining kind of both my melee attack and like the holy magic. Like I get back on my feet as he sets me down, and kind of sort of I'm lopsided a bit from my wing having been cleaved off.
Right.
But but I want to just kind of launch myself into the air anyway, and go straight for the guy's throat
Okay.
with like this holy mace attack.
Cool. Roll a 2d20. Uh, 19 and a 15. Okay. So yeah, you go in and just plant it directly into his neck, but as he does so, you just see he flexes into it, taking the blow. But then after a moment of of the physical attack seeming ineffective, the holy magic just burns through his skin, taking a large chunk out of his throat, and he just sits there, and the blood and magma starts pouring out. And then he takes an immediate swipe at you. Roll a d20.
Oops. 16.
16. So yeah, so you just barely make your way out of the grasp as he reaches out to grab you, and then Cathos.
Can I imbue the sword with anything? Like, I don't know what
Oh yeah, you can.
he's got.
You could like I said, they can do pretty much anything. So go for it.
All right.
Just
well,
describe it.
Since he probably can't do light, right? Because he's half demon. Whatever is closest to that would be the closest thing that he would consider like a light, imbue it into the like charge the sword up, and then I just want to like chuck it with the guy's chest.
Okay. So you
Just to have it like embed into his chest.
Okay. So you do that, imbue it. Roll a d20. Okay. It plants directly into his chest, and you see immediately it starts cracking the area surrounding it. Do you have a follow-up action for this?
Yeah, I want to fly and grab it and just like try and rip it up through like his body.
Okay, roll a d20.
Only a 5 that time though.
You try to reach in and grab it, and then he grabs you as you're grabbing it and starts to crush. At this point, with the amount of damage that's coming through, Cathos is struggling to survive the pain.
Oh no!
And you all see this. From a distance, you see a little Tarloon muttering something and trying to heal Cathos, but Cathos is taking damage faster than he can heal it. There's a moment where you're being crushed and uncrushed and crushed and uncrushed.
Just grits teeth, no like crying, just like.
And it's Lilith's turn.
Lilith is going to do two things. She's going to float up, and as she floats up, she's going to, like, send some blood to Cathos and try and, like, almost form, like, a shield around him. So, like, create kind of like a blood armor for him.
Okay.
And then she's also going to go up to the demon, and she's going to try and charm him and be like, you don't really want to fight us, do you? And flutter her eyelashes and, like, just, like, twirl a little bit, be like, don't
Roll
you
a
just want to
D20.
be our friends? Best friends.
He looks at her and he's just like, and he
That's
lets
right,
go
friends.
and he lets go of Cathos, and Cathos falls to the ground just gasping and gagging.
Since I've got my blood there, can I like soften his fall with the blood?
Yeah. He lands to the ground, and then Taryn.
Yes. So it was the one that Cathos originally was attacking that grabbed him, not the other guy that I've been attacking. Right?
What?
Just want to get that straight.
There's one guy.
No, there's one guy. Okay, I somehow got confused.
Yeah, he brought his big hands out of the lava and he pulled himself up.
Okay, yeah, I got confused.
He was just talking in the darkness from the pit of magma he was bathing below in.
Alright, yeah, no, I got confused like the first time Cathos attacked. It sounded like he was attacking a separate guy, from my perspective. Okay, well, I am going to once again. Why is my shush? Charge and leap attack to try and punch this guy, and as doing so, I shout at him.
The only one who can touch Cathos is Cathos himself.
Try and punch him.
I feel like Terran is just like a big robotic Drax.
All right.
Go for my head, I would catch it.
All right. So what's your attack?
Like another leaping punch kind
Oh,
of
okay.
attack.
Sure. All right. So roll a d20. Yeah,
Sweet.
as you make the leaping strike at him, he just sort of punts you back. He just lifts his leg and just like kicks you back, and you fly against the wall, and your arm just like shatters against the rocks, and you just see like oil, just like it's not actually oil, but the equivalent of oil in this world, just pouring out of his chest.
I look down at that and just kind of grim.
That
Yeah.
wasn't very nice.
He's like, he's looking at you, and he's like, friends don't attack friends. The Celestial.
I imagine that I have some kind of healing abilities, so I'm going to dash over to Cathos, and I'm imagining sort of a paladin kind of lay on hand sort of situation. Just touch his back or something, and this bright white light
Yeah. Okay.
suffuses him.
You do that, but with dark energy, and you you pour it in, and you see as his wounds start to close up, and he's good to fight again.
You all right there?
Just kind of grunt. Fine. Like,
Okay. Now it's Cathos.
Lilith, quit playing with our job. And then jump for the sword again to pull it out of his chest, like trying to sweep it out
Yeah.
before just getting it back in my hands.
All right.
Like, but I like to play.
Roll a d20. Okay, you start to wrench it forward. Roll another d20.
Oh, that's bad.
Ugh.
Yeah, you start to wrench it up and twist it, and then once again he blasts you off. Instead of grabbing you this time, he just goes and chucks you across the room.
I just fixed that.
His wings immediately fly out, catching himself in the air, and he lands back down, ready to go again. Fireballs fly from a distance, and when I say fireballs, I don't mean like one or two. I mean hundreds of fireballs cascade from behind, just plummeting into this thing. As the Tarloon focuses, you can see just a wall of glyphs behind him, just fire just flying directly at the this thing. It takes the hits and seems like it's bothering it, distracting it, but not doing any damage. And now we're back at Lilith.
Lilith is going to produce a fair amount of blood in a ball and then condense it to like a little tiny ball. And she's going to shoot it at him.
Okay. So that's a thing. So roll 2d20. One.
And then my goal is if it hits him to have
does.
it like explode. Like a shrapnel blood little bomb.
Okay, so yeah, you do that, and you just sing it at it, and it lands just under his left side, and then just, and you see that there's a huge gap where the side of his body just ceased to exist from
And
the
she'll
compress.
just giggle.
She's just gonna, she's like, Pop goes the bad guy.
Pop goes the bad guy. You see he's losing a lot of blood, and fire's just pouring out all across the area. as you're all jetting around, and it's Terran's turn.
Yeah.
One-armed Terran.
One-armed Terran. Now, when that arm shattered, though, is it kind of like, spiky now?
It's shredded metal, yeah.
All right. Perfect. I want to, how big is this guy, approximately, compared
This thing, his hand is the size of your entire body.
Okay. I want to jump on, like, jump on, like, his shoulder, and just, like, try and just shove that shredded arm, like, right into his ear.
Alright. Just roll a d20, man. Yeah.
God,
Alright, it's
I'm
okay.
rolling like Airville, damn it.
So you see as he just, like, his arm just sitting there, and he just, like, limply, and he just starts running. Charges, jumps off his arm, jumps onto his shoulder, and you see as the metal on his arm starts twisting around itself, reforming, and then he shoves his entire arm to his ear, and it turns into a drill, and just starts going... starts shredding the inside of this thing's brain. He lets out a giant yell and roar, and then he takes and grabs and throws you directly on the ground and stomps hard, shattering the entire bottom half of your body, leaving nothing but the core in your head and your right arm left sitting there in a pile of oil on the ground.
Oh no. I don't think I can fix that.
Don't worry. It's just a scratch.
Yeah, he's on the ground. At this time, the demon reaches towards all of you and just like flexes its hand. Everybody roll a d20.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
What's with all the nat ones today?
Oh.
He didn't
Okay.
have much left.
Oh no.
As he extends its hand, all of you feel just like heat rising around you. As he does this, you see the Terrans start to melt. The Celestials start screaming as their body ignites in blue flames.
No.
It is your turn, Celestial.
You were on fire.
You're taking 300 damage per round.
All right. Well, who's next?
You.
You
Me?
trying to put the fire. That's you.
Oh.
Yeah. You're not
yeah.
dead. You're just on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put that out.
Again, don't forget, these characters can do almost anything. So, be creative.
Can I sort of just not just put it out, but kind of harness it and, well, I probably can't turn it against the demon. He lives in this stuff, but
Right.
just I don't know. I imagine like just kind of leaping up and kind of doing this big burst of sort of radiant healing energy to try to.
Okay. So, roll d20. Five. You go to do this. You do manage to just burst the flames off of your body. As her wings crippled, she falls towards the ground from the sky. You can see like just the wings flapping up in the wind, ash and soot coming off of it. She plummets towards the ground. Cathos.
Do I have the sword back, or is it still in his
Still
body?
lodged in his chest.
Just after seeing this, just starts to like imbue himself with the same power that he put into the sword, just like into his body, and just like, I've had enough of this. This needs to end, and just try and go for the sword again, but go straight through this time, like not trying to pull it out, just straight through.
Okay. Well then, so this is what'll happen. As Cathos says, "Enough of this." And he starts imbuing himself with energy. You've seen runes twist and pop and crack and implant themselves on his skin as he keeps running, twist runes, twist runes, twist runes. He's running forward, and then you see his body and his shape change as he rips through his own armor, becoming his demon form. Rushing through, you see the crackle of blue fire on him as he punches directly into the back of the sword. Roll a d20.
It just not a nat.
Oh my god, fuck you, game.
4.
I slid. It was sliding on a 19 and flipped to a 1. As it punches straight through, the blade flies through and lands on the opposite wall, and you see the eyes burst with fire for a second as it falls back. He stumbles, drops to a knee, just. And he looks up at you in your demonic form, standing there with large horns rising towards the sky. And he looks confused for a second, and then he just falls limp to the ground. As he does so, the flames that were once his start creeping towards Cathos. They start pulling around his body, and he starts to panic. And as they continue to grow around him, he starts to burn in blue fire. His horns start to grow taller, more pristine. His skin begins to crack. And above his head, there is a flaming crown. And he knows immediately that he's just gained a new title. And he looks in towards himself and he says,
I've killed my own father.
Wah wah.
Patricide.
Patricide. And as he sits there, just fearing that for a moment, what he's done, his body continues to quake as the fire continues to consume him, and his demonic form grows. And he turns. Without any control, he starts to attack his own allies.
Damn it, dude.
I'm gonna waggle my finger at him and be like, no,
The battle continues for some time. And each of you is going to get to make one d20 roll to see if you survive.
Well, Terran is currently a pile of melting metal on the floor, so...
Don't! No, the Terran has survived already.
12. Alright. That'll do, pig. You actually all rolled really well, so... Except Owen, but... Right?
Oh, do you want... Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you roll.
I was like, do I have to roll to survive my own encounter?
Yes.
No. As they continue to tear each other apart, there's cries in agony as the Celestial tries to stop him, asks why, and he just continues to attack. It all becomes a blur for all of you because Cathos himself doesn't remember. He doesn't know who died, who escaped. All he remembers is them being gone. And him sitting there in the pit of fire. Alone. For what felt like an eternity. And then finally, a voice.
Cathos.
Just kind of look around.
Cathos.
Go away.
There's no reason to be wary. I know you're upset.
Just throw fire across the room.
You throw fire in the direction he thinks he hears the voice coming from. And as it hits a shadow, a man walks forward. Flames passing straight through him.
Do not worry, Cathos. You do not have to be this forever. If you come with me, you can be the hero you once were.
Pause with like more fire in my hand, like. I'm just gonna look at him.
He gestures his hand out, and the sword flies from the wall where it had been left for you don't know how long. It collides with his hand, and he hands it out to you.
Take it with the other hand that's not on fire.
My name is Keelan, and I can lead you out of this and show you the light. You can do good once more.
Just kind of set the sword in the floor. Keep talking.
No, that's where we're going to end the...
No, I know. Just that'll be the response.
Keep talking. And so, there we are. The wings unfold. All of you see blinking as the sun starts to set. There's nothing but a sword sitting in front of Owen.
Give it like a little shudder, like, oh.
Roa kind of looks around. What the hell was that?
I don't know, but I was a little girl.
It hurt.
You're telling me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was fine.
Where'd he go?
Look up to the sky like, did he fly away?
I look at the sword and then look at Owen and be like, are you even able to lift that, pup?
Try to lift it.
As you pick the sword up off the ground, what shape would you like it to take?
I mean, if I'm sticking with the theme of it, I want it to turn into claws.
Okay. The entire thing melts as he lifts it up and starts dripping.
Just shock of like, panic like,
You broke it!
And starts dripping across his body and onto his arm. And sliding under his skin.
Ew. What's happening to Owen?
And
yeah,
as,
what's happening to me?
And as you look, your entire arm itself is black skin with little cracks, blue ash.
He's taking you over.
And as he's doing such, you see small horns rising
Ew.
from Owen's skull.
Oh no.
They're in your hair, and they're sort of twist back. Just pure, small, black horns.
This is kind of unexpected.
Upon seeing this, I say, huh, so that means we can call you a hellhound now?
That's exactly
The
what he
only
is.
thing worse than dogs are demons.
Now I'm both.
So, as a reward for everything you just experienced, you each get an ability from the character you played.
Oh shit.
That's why I asked you to be creative.
I would have been more creative if I'd known I was gonna actually get to keep something.
I was actually disappointed the fight ended when it did, because I had a plan for when it came to my turn again. It would have been pretty creative, damn it.
Yours, by the way, Aramil, is going to be Quake.
Nice.
Something I didn't even come up with.
Your new ability, charge in recklessly.
Charge in recklessly.
Yeah, that's great for a wizard. Great.
No, you can cast Quake. It's gonna be at 3rd level. It's going to be a very powerful spell. Enjoy. Lock. Blood bullet.
Yeah, I figured.
Roa. You have a choice.
Yeah.
Would you like a healing spell?
That would be pretty cool.
Would you like to be able to shoot laser beams?
Yes.
Laser beams are healing. I mean,
Yeah.
Those are pretty much the 2 things you did.
She also
Yeah.
did a holy strike.
She also did a holy strike.
Sure.
That would allow you to imbue your physical attack with light,
Who's looking out
with
for
celestial magic, with actual celestial magic.
Yeah. That's a man. I hate. Ugh,
Okay,
I
while
hate
you're thinking about that, Owen, your class has changed.
oh shit.
You are now a spell sword.
I feel like that was a shortcut.
That's what happens
Instead
when you
of-
merge with a denizen.
Instead of enchanter spell sword.
You are now a spell sword. I will add the new stuff on there later, but you can now learn spell sword abilities. That's what you chose to have him do. He was imbuing stuff actively in combat.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, he's a spell sword. So you literally shaped him into that, and therefore that's what you get.
Gotcha.
That is what you get from merging with your denizen. That said, you also get the new weapon as well, which is actually just you. It can never be taken, or you can never be disarmed unless your arm is gone. And your dog forms from now on will also be hellhounds.
Oh shit.
So what you're saying, Gagner, is we need Locke to learn to steal, and then roll a 100 on stealing from Locke and steal his arm. I mean, steal from Owen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
So, that was what happened. You guys see all this shit come out, but then you also realize, and there's no new rings that appear on your arm. You just somehow remember how to do these abilities.
I'm no joke, actually disappointed I didn't get to go again, because I wonder if I would have had a different ability based on what I was gonna do.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with the healing, just because I'm all attack already. So,
Okay.
but Roa kind of edges a little bit closer as Owen finishes his transformation, and
That's going to be on contact. Your heal.
the heal. Okay.
It's going to be on contact. You can pour 1 HP directly, or 1 MP directly into 1 HP.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That could actually be. That's potentially a lot.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot if I had that.
All right.
It's like, here you go, you're full
We'll
health.
just stock you up on mana potions. You'd be like, glug 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 glug.
Yeah.
Imagine,
I'll give you the name for it later. That's level 1.
imagine me having that at Geronimoing and having unlimited mana for that time period. You're just fine. No, you're fine again. You're fine.
You do have a maximum of 10% of your total HP or MP per round at level 1.
Max of 10% of my MP. Okay.
Yep. Cool. So, that was that. Owen has little tiny horns, and his hand is kind of weird now.
Yeah. Roa just asked him, like, do you feel okay?
Yes. Maybe. Feel about the
So-
same.
So what are we supposed to do now? You asked him to go, and now are you supposed to do that?
Just kind of shrugs like, maybe?
I don't like any of this.
So did we all see that whole
Yeah,
whatever it was?
I was a little girl.
I had wings. Like a bird. Ugh.
Wings aren't the worst thing.
I'm gonna look around Owen's back to see if he has little wing stubs to go with the demon horns.
Just be like, what are you doing?
I think you're good. If there's anything worse than a demon dog, it's a demon dog that can fly.
Just kind of like,
He actually, he doesn't have wings, no. But yeah, the wings dissipated. You didn't see Cathos anymore.
So does this mean we have to go kill the demons now?
I don't
that the
feel
deal?
any better equipped to kill demons.
I do.
I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah.
Did you guys see Tim?
Yeah, and what about the
It wasn't.
vampire?
It didn't actually look like Tim, but it gave you
Oh,
that
okay.
feeling.
Okay.
Maybe it was Tim's great grandpa.
He gave
Would it
you
have been
that
enough to us
feeling
to
of.
infer, like, Tim.
Huh?
Since we never heard his name or anything.
Nobody ever said his name, but guys, it was Tim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim likes to be different things, as we see.
I guess it would be more like, did that little mage remind you of somebody?
I feel like this was Tim before he was the master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was everybody before they were everything, but that was the
Right.
turning point for Cathos.
So
So-
Cathos became a big, scary, full demon thing and turned against his friends, and stupid Keelan
Keelan?
just like swept in there and was like just what? Taking advantage?
Give you an opportunity?
I mean, doesn't seem like that bad a guy. That he was. I don't know about now, but
Right, that's the point is I was trying to make, is that people change and it doesn't matter what you were before if you're doing bad things now. So I don't know how to feel about this or anything that's going on, and I don't know what to do. I hate to bother Tim again, but maybe we should, because nobody knows anything.
Locke will just be like, well, by your own logic, killing that town, that was in the past. So, should we judge
That
him
was
on
like a week ago.
I mean, today he could be feeding old ladies.
But a week ago he killed a whole town.
It's in the past.
I'm talking. This was ancient. Nobody even remembers this stuff. Like if he was, you
Cathos
can't-
remembered it.
Yeah, and he's been locked up ever since then. He hasn't been through all the other stuff. Things have changed. The world is different now. What if these other gods did betray him? What if he created everything? It doesn't matter. Things have been fine, except he let all the demons out, and the
but-
demons are the problem.
Maybe, but what if by the
What's the
same
problem?
hand, the world's worse than it was before?
What?
You say the world's fine now, but what if it was better before?
We don't know. Nobody knows. I'm not gonna trust what this guy says. He's all scary and they did awful things to people.
And we don't know the other gods haven't done awful things. Well,
mean,
I
like-
don't.
They were
I'm
just
not-
dwarves too.
I'm not saying I'm going to start worshiping any of the other gods. I'm just saying I'm not going to start worshiping this one, and he's been taking advantage and doing awful things, and I don't want any part of it. And I just don't know what to do about it.
I'm just gonna kind of point towards her pocket where the adventure card is and be like, not part of it. Kind of gonna be difficult.
I didn't choose to be a seed of chaos. It just happened to all of us. I just wanted to know what happened to the card thing, but... Ugh.
While this back and forth is going on, I lean over to Locke. I'm like, pull out the whiskey. You want some?
I'm gonna look at Aaron. I'll be like, do you still not understand what I am?
Damn it, Saber Chili Punk. Fucking
Flavor. Can you not enjoy the flavor at least?
There's only one flavor I really prefer.
Fair enough. I just take a swig.
I'm gonna
Point being, we need to know more of why everything happened the way it did before we choose a side or kill a god. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, is we need somebody who knows, and nobody knows.
Tim might
Yeah.
know.
But Tim doesn't tell us anything.
No, he doesn't. And he's so mysterious and never here. And
But he might not know that we freed and met and
but
bonded.
I'm just gonna
with
look at
Cathos.
Locke and like, he's not gonna figure it out.
if
It
he
made a
knew,
problem.
if he knew Cathos, why wouldn't he tell us he was in the Cathos ruins? He knew we were going back there. Maybe he wanted us to let him out. Maybe Tim's not a good guy either. We don't know anything. We
I mean,
we went in there to learn things, and we unlearned things.
he is a shady motherfucker.
While there's still going back and forth, without telling anyone, I'm just gonna start like really focusing hard on Tim, just trying to get his attention again with my undying love ability.
Tim is busy. He's fighting demons.
I don't care. I want his attention, damn it.
I'm gonna pull out my
Look at me,
Balin's
look at me, look at
gem,
me, and then
my
you get
Balin
slapped
gem.
in the face.
I'm just gonna be like, just gonna look at it and see if it looks like it's charged at all or if it's any different.
It looks like it's starting to glow a bit again.
Oh, it's starting to glow a little bit again. And I'll look at Owen. Wait, who has it? Was it?
I don't know where my counter for that
Does
is,
Roa have it?
actually.
I have the other one.
So how's your little rock? This one's looks like it's doing something.
Who cares about rocks right now?
I mean, in light of the current context of these rocks, I feel are somewhat pertinent.
Roa just kind of grumbles to herself as she digs into her item storage portal
Mm-hmm.
and rummages around to find the other gem, the chaos. Ooh.
The Chaos Gem?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You have the Chaos Gem. Which I believe was fully charged.
Yeah, I think you said it was fully charged after we ran through the
Yeah.
city of dying demons.
Yep.
So as I see it, we have like some choices. We can go back and try and fight some demons. We can go back into the ruins and pretend nothing ever happened, or we can go look for the girl.
I wanna.
Or...
Go ahead.
Or we can get shit faced and I raise the rest of the bottle and just down the rest of it.
Yeah, you were actually shit-faced at this point. There's no rolling against it at this point. You've been drinking this whole time. I don't know where my counter is, but it's, yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Roa just kind of ignores her.
I will say this. It is glowing brighter now than it did before you guys released Cathos.
What, the chaos gem?
No. The Order Gem.
Okay. Well, I want to find the girl because she might have answers about what was going on in ephemeria, but at the same time, that doesn't feel like it really matters anymore. I don't know how much help she's actually going to be. And maybe it would be more helpful to go there and try to kill some of the demons, but I mean, there's just one of you. And
Maybe
you're
we
still
kill him and-
half Owen.
I'm still all Owen.
I mean, all I see is an opportunity for the pup to finally hit something.
I hit lots of things.
And so I'll hold out the chaos gem, and I think it's ready if anybody else wants to eat it.
How about I can give this one to
You might
Caramel.
have some trouble eating that.
You never know.
Gee.
But I'm gonna give Aramil the order one. And see, like, here you go. See if this does anything for you.
It's not ready yet, but you can try it if you want.
I mean,
Well, it's figured it's
logically,
worth a try.
I was gonna say, well, logically, from our perspective, we don't know if it's ready. It just starts
I mean,
glowing
like,
brighter.
it was really bright before, and now it's, like,
Oh.
sort of dim. But
Oh, I
brighter,
mean-
brighter than not lit at all.
Brighter than not lit at all.
Drunk Aramel was just given a skill.
Yeah, I mean, I have, yeah.
Now you pop it in your mouth, you spit it back up. Nothing
Well,
happens.
That's
And
not
another
a piece.
shot.
I look at it like, that's not tasty. Give me tasty.
If
Like-
nothing else, we could pass through, kill some demons, and maybe use the portal if it's still functioning, and
Right.
get closer to the girl.
I mean, that was our original plan anyway, was to head back to the mages, aid their master orders. Here, why don't?
I wasn't planning on going back there.
How,
I mean, or
how's
we can
your,
just walk.
How's your rock? Is your rock ready? This one,
I
obviously.
I just offered it and nobody said anything.
I was busy listening to him vomiting up the other rock.
Well, I think it's ready. It's all glowy and shit.
Here, well, you toss that one to me. Aramil, you toss that one. Well, never mind. You're not in any shape to toss anything to anyone. Owen, you grab that one and toss it to her so that she's not holding it at the same time. We'll just do the switcheroo.
I'll just pick up the order one and just put it in my pocket.
Or do that. It doesn't matter. So long as nobody gets blown out.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you've juggled around stones. You've played hot potato.
And it's like, I promise I'll give it right back.
Oh,
I don't care.
The black one?
Yeah.
You
I
just
already
cast
ate
one.
it.
I'm gonna try and eat it.
You're
Even
gonna
though I have the order.
you're gonna try to eat it.
I'm gonna like hold it up to my mouth and see what happens.
Okay. You get it close to your mouth, you immediately start feeling like a burning sensation. As you see like little bits of like lightning that are black and white sort of chasing each other at your lips, singeing your lips.
Which, being the messed up motherfucker that I am, like, kind of likes. So I'm gonna actually touch it to my lips and see what happens.
Your lips immediately burn off.
You weren't ugly enough before.
He was actually really
You're like-
handsome before.
Like, well, as I'm like, my lips are kind of like, I don't know, not there and sort of like almost. Because you know
they're growing back, yeah.
they're growing back. I'm like, well, that was a bad idea. Hand it to Aramil. I'll be like, yeah, you try this.
It definitely doesn't help that you have Amira's blessing.
Amira's blessing and Balin.
So wait, you're handing me the chaos.
Like
one?
you have Amira's
Is that
blessing,
what you do? I'm confused.
you've
as
taken
you reach out
you've
with
taken
it-
the order thing, and now you're holding a fucking chaos thing to your lips. Like
But my goal is to absorb the power of all of the gods.
you'll have to do that a little bit more carefully, I think.
Uh,
Once your lips grow back, you can actually have a real conversation. Because right now you're just going.
I'm just gonna toss it to Aramil without my full ability to speak. It's
Me being in my shit-faced state, try and reach out for it, kind of chuckle it, and ultimately just drop it.
Roa, please protect him from himself.
yeah, I'm gonna Try to get in there.
Because I can't pick it. I have the order one. I'm like, I don't want to touch it.
And then I bend over to try and pick it up and just like stumble forward and just fall over.
Can I,
Harry Potter, it's catch the snitch in your mouth.
Can I just get in there and snatch it up?
Yeah, sure. Easy enough to do. He's just stumbling all over the place. Looking to do it.
Okay. You need to not drink so much when we're on the road with dangerous things around us, like including this. And I'm gonna
Isn't
stick
that
it back.
all the time, Roa?
Yes.
So you want him to never drink?
Sure. He's honestly he's bad enough at hitting things when he's sober. Now he's drunk. What if we got attacked?
Okay.
Maybe he'd hit me.
I'm fine. I
No.
can hit things. See, and I don't want to cast fireball at a tree.
You go to cast Fireball, and instead you cast Quake.
And we all fall down.
Yeah, instead you go to cast Fireball, instead you cast Quake. And, and the ground begins to crack beneath all of you, and a pitfall opens beneath you as you fall into the caverns of Cathos ruins.
See?
Hey, I told you I'd hit
It just seems like the right thing when you're that drunk.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's any bad guys there.
Did you roll?
You rolled a
24.
24.
Oh, what the fuck?
Making sure we're not about to get effed up.
Oh, it's because I had it closed. Yeah, no, so, you look around, and you don't necessarily have, like, dark vision.
I mean, there's a skylight.
But you can see pretty okay. And as you look around you, you see just a plethora of black-skinned, twisty, mangled, stuttery movement looking entities walking all around you.
Oh shit.
Maybe.
Way to go.
I
Walk out real slow. They won't notice.
see all of them. I'm like, hello, friends.
Oh, this is like Owen just like cringes like.
Roa hides behind Owen. Maybe because you're part Cathos now, they won't attack you.
Just like I'm just waiting to see what their
Yeah,
response is
they,
from there. I'll
he-
be like,
he-
hey!
He yells, "Hello, friends!" and they all just and like turn and twist towards you and just start like in your direction. And as soon as they approach, they take one look at Owen and they fall to a knee.
Okay, let's get out of here again. This is not great. Let's go.
Let's leave and not fall down another hole. Aramil.
I was just proving I can hit things.
Yeah, that's
Anyone
what
can hit the ground. The ground is a big target.
It doesn't matter. I still hit it. And
Yeah.
I said I'd hit something.
I think anyone is quite a strong claim, considering
Start
it's not
walking
a
towards
guarantee.
I guess map. Which direction's the stairs?
I'll make an intelligence check.
It's easy enough
It's
to
that
just
way.
make your way back geographically speaking, because you fell above that certain section, so you just backtracked the direction towards where the original area was. You climb up the cavern, nothing even attacks you because everything there respects Owen as a higher up, and you walk back out.
And for once, Owen actually is respected by something.
Now, if anybody would have spent an ambush, it would have been a very different story, but
Yeah, good thing Blissful's not here.
Just like sigh, be like, all right. How about we sleep on it? We'll figure out what to do in the morning.
I could use some sleep, and I just fall flat and just.
I'm not sleeping anywhere around here. There's bad things.
Well, we already know they're not going to attack us.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sleep with those things around me. Where's our? We left our cart somewhere, right?
On the
Outside
edge
town.
of
Yeah, on the edge of town.
I'm going back to the cart.
Alright, I'll make a strength check and pick up Aramel.
I mean, there's a perfectly good inn in the town.
With all the other things.
There's not.
They're not using it.
They're not using it.
I'm going back to the cart.
Anyways,
What's the
I'll
strength?
pick up Aramel and I'll follow after. It's a 20.
Oh, to pick him up? Yeah, it's easy enough. Well, how much weight are you carrying, Aramil?
Do I have it?
It's underneath your
Is it-
SP.
Oh, it's under my. Okay.
Probably not much.
According to this, only 15.5 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough to carry him then. So you have
Actually,
them
he
over.
should be pretty light.
Yeah. You have them over your shoulder, and you guys go find your way to find the cart, rest up for the night, and deal with all that. And that's what will end our session.